Fracture Reflections. The fluorescent light hummed faintly above the investigation room, casting pale shadows against the walls covered with files and photographs. Detective Moon Jae-young sat stiffly at the metal table, her eyes locked on a single photograph clipped to the case file in front of her. In the grainy shot, Cha Eun-woo stood outside a convenience store at night, head slightly bowed, as though he had just left after buying something small. Next to him was another man, tall, broad-shouldered, with the same eyes, the same jawline, the same careful posture. It wasn't a trick of light or a poorly timed angle. It was him. It was exactly him. But there was no record of that other man existing. No ID, no birth certificate, no address, no history. Nothing. Fracture Reflections, she murmured, writing the case title at the top of the file. She wasn't sure why those words came to her, but they felt right. Jae-young wasn't supposed to meet Eun-woo that night. She had been assigned to a missing persons case, but the trail had gone cold. Then her superior slid this photo across her desk, telling her she had 48 hours to make sense of it. Her first stop was obvious. Find the man in the photo. When she knocked on his apartment door, Eun-woo answered, looking both surprised and guarded. He was taller than she expected, his presence almost too sharp against the dim hallway light. "You're Detective Moon?" he asked softly. She nodded. "Cha Eun-woo." "That's me." His voice was even, careful. "Is this about the photo?" Jae-young tilted her head. "You've seen it." His jaw tightened. "Someone slipped a copy under my door last week." Her heart skipped. "And what did you think?" Eun-woo gave a small, humorless laugh. "I thought someone was playing a cruel joke. Because that man, he's me. He moves like me. Even the scar on his hand is the same. But I swear I don't know him." Jae-young studied his face carefully. She had been trained to spot liars, to catch the micro-expressions that betrayed guilt or deceit. But Eun-woo's eyes held only confusion and fear. "Then we need to find him," she said firmly. The investigation twisted quickly. Witnesses from the convenience store said they remembered seeing two men that night. But when shown the photo, they hesitated, swearing that they could only recall one. Security footage should have solved everything. But when Jae-young pulled the tapes, the cameras flickered, static swallowed frames, and Eun-woo appeared alone every time. The mysterious double vanished, as though he had never been there at all. Eun-woo grew restless, his calm facade cracking. "I know how insane this sounds, but what if he's me? What if he's some part of me I don't remember?" Jae-young frowned. "You mean like a twin separated at birth?" "No," Eun-woo said quietly. "Like another version of me. The me I don't want to be." The words unsettled her more than she wanted to admit. She caught herself studying him too long, noticing the way his hands trembled when he thought she wasn't looking. She reminded herself this was just a case. But something in her chest tightened anyway. It happened on the third night. Jae-young followed Eun-woo through an alley near his apartment, her senses sharp, her instincts screaming that something was about to break. And then she saw him. The other Eun-woo stood at the far end of the alley, bathed in the orange glow of a street lamp. He smiled faintly, tilting his head as though amused. Her blood ran cold. He was identical. Every detail matched, except the eyes. This Eun-woo's eyes were darker, heavier, like a shadow that had been given form. Eun-woo froze beside her, his breath hitched, his entire body trembling. "You see him too?" "Yes," Jae-young whispered, gun instinctively sliding into her hand. "Stay behind me." But the double only smirked, shaking his head. "You can't protect him from me." His voice was deeper, smoother, unsettlingly calm. And then he was gone. Just gone. No footsteps, no movement. One moment there, the next vanished into thin air. Eun-woo staggered, clutching his chest. "I'm losing my mind." Jae-young gripped his shoulders. "You're not. I saw him. He's real, Eun-woo. Whatever this is, we'll figure out." But inside, she wasn't sure. Days blurred together. Sleepless nights filled with theories and failed leads. Jae-young pored through psychological profiles, doppelganger myths, urban legends. None of it gave her solid ground. Meanwhile, Eun-woo began to unravel. She found him standing in front of his bathroom mirror late one night, his eyes red, his knuckles raw from hitting the sink. "He's in here," he whispered. "Every time I look, I feel like it's him staring back at me, not me, like he's waiting for me to slip so he can take over." G.A. Young's chest tightened painfully. "Woo, don't say that." He looked at her then, eyes desperate. What if I'm the one who doesn't exist? What if I'm just a reflection and he's the real one? She grabbed his hand firmly, grounding him. "No, you're real. I'm holding you. I know the difference." Something softened in his face, just for a moment, and in that fragile space, she realized how much he cared already, too much for someone who was supposed to be just a case. The doppelganger returned. This time, he didn't just appear. He spoke to G.A. Young directly. "You can't save him." The Shadow Unwu murmured when she found herself alone in the station parking lot. "He's weak. He doesn't deserve you." Her pulse pounded. "What are you?" He smirked. "I'm the truth he's too afraid to face. Every choice he buried. Every darkness he denied. I'm not going away." She raised her gun, but her hands shook. "Stay away from him." The man only stepped closer, his smile unnervingly tender. "Why protect him? I could be everything he's not. Stronger, certain, yours." Her breath caught, and then headlights swept a lot, and he was gone. But the echo of his words clung to her, twisting her heart. G.A. Young couldn't keep it in anymore. One night, after hours of silence between them, she blurted out, "He talked to me, the other you." Unwu's face paled. "What did he say?" She hesitated. "That he's the part of you you've tried to bury." Unwu sank into a chair, hands trembling. "Then maybe he's right. Maybe he's the anger I never let out, the mistakes I pretend I didn't make. Maybe he's me and I'm just a shell." G.A. Young knelt in front of him, her voice breaking. "Don't you dare say that. You're not just a shell. You're kind. You're human. That's why I—" She stopped herself, the words choking her. But Unwu's eyes softened, searching hers. "That's why you what?" She swallowed. "That's why I can't lose you." For the first time in days, he smiled, weak but real. The climax came suddenly. G.A. Young and Unwu tracked the double to an abandoned building on the outskirts of the city. The air inside was heavy, mirrors scattered across the walls, reflecting endless versions of them both. The Shadow Unwu stood waiting. "You can't kill what's inside you," he told Unwu calmly. "You'll always come back to me." Unwu shook his head, voice steady for the first time. "No, you're not me. You're everything I refuse to be. I won't let you win." The double lunged, but Unwu didn't run. He faced him, hand pressed against the cold mirror between them, and slowly, painfully, the shadow began to fade, swallowed by the glass, until only Unwu's reflection remained. The mirror shattered, crashing to the floor in a storm of glass. The hallway outside Cha Unwu's apartment was too quiet, as though it held its breath for her knock. Detective Moon Jae Young shifted on her feet, her hand brushing against a file tucked under her arm. She had interviewed killers, scam artists, and broken families before, but she couldn't shake the weight of this case. The photo had been strange enough when she first saw it on her desk at the station. A man standing under a flickering streetlight, his face familiar from countless public records. Cha Unwu, age 27, no priors, no violent history. Next to him, another man, same height, same lean frame, same slight tilted head, even the faint scar slicing across the palm of his right hand. But the system spat back nothing. No name, no trace, as though someone had copied a life but erased the paperwork. She took a breath and knocked. The door opened after a pause, and Unwu stood there in casual clothes, gray sweats and a loose white shirt. His hair was tousled, as though he'd been running his hands through it too many times. G.A. Young flashed her badge automatically. Detective Moon Jae Young, Seoul Metropolitan Police. "Are you Cha Unwu?" He didn't deny it. His eyes, dark and sharp, flicked from her face to the badge and back. "Yes, I was expecting you." Her brows drew together. "You were?" Unwu's lips quirked, but not in amusement. It was a strained, humorless smile. "They sent someone eventually. Come in." Inside, the apartment was neat but lifeless, like a show unit no one actually lived in. The blinds were half drawn, blocking out the city lights. On the coffee table sat a single photograph, the same one she had in her file, the one clipped under fractured reflections. "You already know," Eun-woo said quietly, sinking into the couch. He didn't look at her, only at the photo. "Someone slipped that under my door last week. No note, just that." Ji-ae Young sat opposite him, laying her file open. "Then tell me what you thought when you saw it." His hand twitched, then steadied as he leaned forward, elbows on his knees. "I thought I was going insane. Because that's me. It looks like me. It moves like me. Even the scar is mine. But I don't remember being there. I don't remember him." Her pen paused mid-note. "You don't remember being at the convenience store?" "I was there," he admitted. "But I was alone. I bought ramen and water. I went home. That's it. Nothing unusual." "And the man standing next to you?" she pressed. Eun-woo finally lifted his gaze to hers. His eyes were hollow but steady. "Detective, I swear to you, I have never seen him in my life." The room felt smaller suddenly, the shadows of the blinds striping across his face. Ji-ae Young had studied hundreds of liars before. People whose eyes darted, whose mouths twitched when the truth pressed against their lips. But Eun-woo was unervingly still. Either he was telling the truth, or he was the most convincing liar she had ever met. She leaned back, crossing her arms. "Do you have a twin? Someone separated at birth? A brother you don't talk about?" "No." His voice was flat, clipped. "It's just me." "Then how do you explain this?" She slid the photograph across the table, forcing him to look at it again. He did. His fingers brushed the edge of the photo, knuckles tightening until they went white. "I can't, but I'll tell you something that'll make me sound even crazier." Ji-ae Young tilted her head, waiting. "Sometimes," he said slowly, "I feel like he's near, like when I'm walking home at night. There's another set of footsteps in rhythm with mine. When I look in a mirror, I swear it's not me staring back. It's him, the version of me that doesn't blink. That doesn't move until I do. And every day I wonder which of us is real." The words crawled under her skin. She had expected denial, maybe defensiveness. But this sounded like a man already questioning his own sanity. Ji-ae Young steadied her voice. "Mr. Cha, you're not crazy. You're a key witness in an unusual case, but we'll find answers. That's my job." His eyes softened then, just slightly. For the first time, she saw past the fear to something vulnerable. "You believe me?" She hesitated a beat too long before answering. "I believe what you're telling me." It wasn't quite a yes, but it wasn't a no either. She left his apartment with the photo still etched in her mind. The street outside was alive with neon signs and faint music drifting from a bar down the block. But when she glanced back up at his window, she saw a silhouette in the blinds. Not one, but two. Her chest tightened. She blinked, and the second shadow was gone. Subject, Cha Eun-woo, age 27. Observation, cooperative but highly distressed. Reports feelings of paranoia, detachment, and possible hallucinations. Concern, strong resemblance between subject and unidentified individual in photo. Subject denies any knowledge of second man. Impression, either target manipulation, photo doctored, subject stalked, or psychological fracture, subject projecting a double. Further evidence required. She tapped her pen against the page, frustrated. Every explanation felt incomplete, a puzzle with missing pieces. When her phone buzzed, she nearly dropped the pen. It was a text from Eun-woo. "Detective, if anything happens to me,